everyone. Happy Saturday. Let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. Happy Saturday. Good morning. Um, I am here. I've been doing these every day for a month. I'm here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I do online marketing and making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. If you're jumping on, I am live streaming both on my TikTok account and my YouTube channel. Let me know where you're coming in from. Would love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. There's probably some reason all of you are on social media, and I did have a guy tell me he was just bored, so he jumped on TikTok. That's okay. I'm not bored, and I'm not on TikTok or YouTube or any other social media platform because I'm bored. Um, I'm because I'm doing online marketing, making money from home. I teach other people how to do the same thing. Next month in September, it'll be 14 years I've been doing this. I lost my job. I couldn't find another one. Terrible job market. People were getting 1,500 applications for one job. I couldn't find a job. I found myself broke, unemployed, and in foreclosure. I was drowning in $250,000 of debt, and I had no idea how I was going to get myself out of this mess. And if it wasn't for this industry in digital marketing, I'd probably be homeless. So I'm grateful for it every single day. And I've gotten to meet people from all over the world. And some of them I've met in person, going to a live event, although COVID really kind of squashed a lot of the live events. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Mindy. Good morning, Betty. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I can see the people jumping on. Good morning, Jose, on TikTok, but I can't see people on unless they comment. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, random things. What do people call you? Love to know where you're coming in from. You saw Pamela Anderson. I did not see that. I did see her in a movie not too long ago, Showgirls, that she was in. And actually, it was a true story of her, how she got into that business, and how and she had a baby at the time and was a single parent. And she would drive to work at night, and she'd bring the baby and leave the baby in the car while she worked, which glad nothing happened to her child, but it did show in the movie her child really resented that and the friction between them. And that does happen between children and their parents. If you're jumping on, let me know you're coming in. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Leslie. Good morning, Wendy. Let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Nina. I cannot see on YouTube. There's people on, but I can't see you unless you comment. I can see people coming on my TikTok account. They show you people jumping on, jumping off. YouTube doesn't do this. I am live streaming in two places, on my TikTok account and my YouTube channel. Because of the technology, I can do that. Good morning, Michelle, Leslie, Malcolm. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'm able to stream in two places. It's only one live that I have to do. And then what's cool about YouTube, it saves it and it uploads it to my YouTube channel as a piece of content. TikTok will save it, but it's only for 30 days. My YouTube channel stays up there forever. Good morning, Jonathan. Good morning, Angela. Good morning, Rowena. Good morning, Terry. Good morning, William. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. Next month, I've been doing this for 14 years. I lost my job, and that job I had a 2 to 3 hour commute, which I certainly don't miss, because my commute now is literally walking upstairs, going to my office where I'm sitting right now. I turned a room upstairs in my office. That's my commute now, and I don't miss spending 2 to 3 hours. I was on Interstate I-95, depending on where you live. You may know what that's like, but driving that every single day, it's not fun. And then as the week goes on, the traffic gets worse, and I was finding myself that I was starting to fall asleep when I was driving home. I do not miss that. And I don't have that kind of commute anymore. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Spunky. What do people call you? Good morning, Sokol. Good morning, Nina. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning, user 62 blah, blah, blah. Good morning, William. Let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I'm presuming there's some reason you're on here, although I did have a guy jump on that told me he was bored and he decided to get on TikTok. If you could like my video, I'd really appreciate it. Good morning, Sophia. Good morning, Chick. Good morning, William. Good morning, Jay. Jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I live about 40 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I commuted down into the city every day for 13 years, actually, until I took another job that was outside of the center. It was further north of me, which I did have a 2 to 3 hour commute. I lost that job. I couldn't find another one. I found myself drowning in $250,000 of debt. I was broke, unemployed, in foreclosure. It's not fun. And some of you may be broke, or living paycheck to paycheck. And if you had an emergency, you don't know how you would pay for whatever it is. Your car breaks down, you have an unexpected medical expense. And I did that for a long time when I was working a job, living paycheck to paycheck. It's not fun. And this industry can change your life. And the program and the digital marketing I'm average 900 a sale. We teach you how to use social media correctly. If you're on social media and you're not using it correctly, somebody asked me last week, I did a training on social media marketing. I also was talking about how to set your profile up, because if you're not setting your profile up correctly, you're not attracting people to you. And traction marketing is way better because you don't have to go chasing people, bugging family or friends, or DMing people, asking them to take a look at what you're doing. So I like attraction marketing a lot better. You draw people to you. And if you don't have your social media profile set up correctly, I call it optimizing, because when you're on social media, you want people to be able to go to your page, see a picture of you, your smiling face, your name, what your page is about, so they know, what you're doing on social media. If you're just on social media to hang out, there's nothing wrong with that. But most people, you're either on here because you got a mission, a message you're trying to share, you're supporting a company, you got an offline and online business, and you're trying to get exposure for it. And there's over 5 billion people on social media that you can tap into and use it for free. So you don't have to do any paid advertising. You can do paid advertising, it works. But you can spend a lot of money and not get a return on it. Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Sonia. Good morning, Universal Subcon. Excuse me. What do people call you? Good morning, Virginia. Good morning, Hadark. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I'm doing these lives here. I've been here every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for like the last month. I'm going to continue to do these until I say otherwise. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Virginia. Good morning, Ivy. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I live about 40 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm in the Northeast. I'm close to New York. I live in a town that's outside the city of Philadelphia in the suburbs. And I used to commute in there. Commuted in there, taking a regional train for 13 years. And then I took another job after that, and that job I lost. And that's what brought me to this industry. I couldn't find another job, worst job market ever. People were getting 1,500 resumes for one position. And I think I got maybe 3 interviews over the course of a year, couldn't find a job, found myself broke, unemployed, and in foreclosure. I was being sued. My one brother who I adored, he passed away. And if it wasn't for this industry, I'd probably be homeless. And this industry can change your life. It's changed so many people's lives. And I'm doing digital marketing, which you don't have to create the product. You don't have to do customer service. You don't have to ship anything. You can make your own products. There's plenty of people on here that got their own coaching services, their own product or service, that they're using social media. And the fact that there's over 5 billion people on social media, the exposure you can get if you know how to use social media correctly. If you're jumping on, I'd love to know where you're coming in from. Good morning, Prepper. Good morning, Sonia. Good morning, Daniela. Good morning, YM. What do people call you? I would just think that that's the name you make. Good morning, Angie. Good morning. Is it Candy, or what do people call you? Good morning, Angelo. I can see the people on TikTok jumping on and jumping off, but I can't. On YouTube, they don't show you. I just see the number of people on. So if you don't comment, I don't know you're here. Um, so let me know. Let me. And the software I'm using is giving me a pop-up on. I'm using software on my YouTube channel that gives me the ability I can um, live stream in two places on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. It's the same live stream, and what's cool about YouTube is when I end this stream, it uploads the whole recording of it to my YouTube channel, becomes a piece of content on my YouTube channel, which is cool. I don't have to do anything. Good morning, Blaze. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Dell. Good morning, Do Living. What do people call you? Good morning, Virginia. Good morning, Kathy. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing and making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I've been doing this, actually, it'll be 14 years next month. I lost my job. I couldn't find another one. I found myself drowning in $250,000 of debt. I was broke, unemployed, and in foreclosure. I was being sued. And my one brother, who I adored, he passed away. This industry can change your life. And the people you see making money, it's because they're coachable, consistent. They put in the work, and you can get this down. We're using a 2-hour blueprint, 2-hour workday blueprint. You can get this down to 2 hours a day. But the people you see making money, they put the work in, and there is work involved. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Melissa. You do have to put the work in, but you can get this down to 2 hours a day, because when I'm done here, I have a few other things I'm going to do. I'll be done for the day. I have the rest of the day to myself to do whatever I want. And I know when I was still working a job, just a 2 to 3 hour day commute, and to spend 8 hours a day at a job, 5 days a week, it didn't leave a lot of time for other things. And by the time I was done with that commute, by the time you get home, it's so exhausting. And towards the end, before I lost my job, I was falling asleep driving on Interstate 95. It's most of that straight driving, and I was falling asleep. I'd be up at 4:30 in the morning. I'd leave by 6, and in the morning, because I left that early, I could get up there by 7. Even if I left a few minutes later, the traffic's so much worse. Takes longer. I don't miss that commute. I know one day I left at 4 o'clock, and we were getting a little bit of snow where I live, and it took me, by the time I got home, it was after 7 o'clock. So I surely don't miss that. I mean, how many people are on here? Do you work a full-time job? I mean, there's a lot of people that start this and they're still working a job. In fact, we have somebody in our group. She was working 3 jobs, and never had time for anything, and to see her kids. And she started doing this, and pretty quickly for her, it doesn't happen for everybody. She got to 6 figures. And I had somebody on here the other day asking me how long it would take him to get to $100,000 in a year. I can't answer that because I don't know you. I don't know your work ethic. I don't know the time and effort you put into this. But I can tell you for sure, if you don't do anything, you're not going to make any money. And a lot of people see something and they think that that's so cool. They join, but they never do anything. In fact, I had somebody buy something from me. She was paying $179 a month for 2 years, and she never even logged into her account. I really don't get that. I find that fascinating. I've seen people spend tens of thousands of dollars in this industry, and they don't do anything. And the fact is, most people don't do anything, and that's why there's a 95% failure rate. Anybody making money, myself included, it's because we put the work in. I by no way means I'm not a genius. In fact, I got a learning disability, ADD. My reading comprehension is at the 11th grade level. I got diagnosed when I was 32 years old, and I was taking an American history course at a community college and flunking it, even though I was showing up to the class and doing the work. And honestly, at the time, I was in therapy, and my therapist, her name was Lynn, she said to me, "There's something wrong." And I looked at her and I was like, "What do you mean there's something wrong?" And she goes, she goes, "You studied." She goes, "No," if you didn't do anything, yeah, I'd understand that you failed. I got a 53 on a test. And what she was saying to me, "Well, maybe you have a learning disability." And she was right. She talked to me. It took her a year to convince me. I went and got tested. I spent a whole day. It was like $1,000 with a woman who has a doctorate degree in education and works with people with learning disabilities. She tested me, and I got the 7-page report. I was devastated at first, finding out all these things that I had ADD, a learning disability, my reading comprehensions at 11th grade level, why my grades were so bad. And in fact, when all through school and high school, I'd have a guidance counselor call me into her office and say, I can't figure out why your grades are so bad. You're really smart. And my mom was overwhelmed. I mean, she had 7 kids. She had 5 kids and got pregnant with twins. I have a twin sister, and her OB didn't tell her. So I went all that time, and I was 32 when I got diagnosed. So if I can do this, I may work harder than most people, but by no means I'm not an academic scholar. And this business is simple, but it's not easy. And simple and easy aren't the same thing. And anybody that you can follow directions, you're coachable, you're consistent, you actually go through the training, you plug into our group, we have live trainings, can do this. This is simple. Good morning, Macy. Good morning, Evelyn. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Macy. Good morning, Chino12. What do people call you? Good morning, Rita. If you're jumping on, I'd love to know where you're coming in from. While you're on social media, just sharing a little that I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. In fact, I had, if you got a full-time job, drop in the comments. And if you like the video, I'd really appreciate it, whether you're on my TikTok account or my YouTube channel. I am live streaming in both places because of the technology and software I have. I can do that. I only have to do, good morning, Sean. What do you mean by eye cream? Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Jose. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I do online marketing, making money from home, and teaching other people how to do the same thing. I haven't worked a full-time job. It was 9 years in June. And the job I lost, I had a 2 to 3 hour commute. I do not miss that. My commute now is literally just walking up a flight of stairs. And that's it. I took a room upstairs in my house and turned it into my office where I'm at now. That is my commute. I don't have to sit in traffic. And I was on I-95 most of the time, and it's straight driving. And towards the end, right before I lost my job, I was starting to fall asleep driving home. It is exhausting. And a lot of times by the time you get home after you worked 8 hours and then you spent, 2 to 3 hours a day in your car, I was exhausted. So I don't miss that. And how much time, I got time freedom now. If I need to do something, I don't have to ask. If you got a job, you're going to have to go to your boss and you're going to have to ask for time off. And in fact, the job I lost, you actually had to submit a form if you wanted a day off or a vacation, and you had to get it approved. And that's the way the woman that was the head of my department that I was working for, that's what she did. And it kind of made you feel almost like you're in school or you're punching a clock. And I did have a job where you had to punch a clock. You had to punch in when you got in, when you went to lunch, when you came back from lunch, when you left for the day. And it's really, there's no freedom in that. Anybody punch a clock at your job? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning, Rita. Good morning, 8JR8. Good morning, Macy. Good morning, Marilyn. If you're jumping on, love to know where you're coming in from. Whether you're on my TikTok account or YouTube. On TikTok, I can see people jumping on and I can see people jumping off. I cannot see anybody on YouTube. I can just see the number of people on there. So unless you comment, I don't know that you're on. And I think a lot of people, reason why people come to these lives is because they can just, watch it. They don't have to say anything. Good morning, Coco. Is that what people call you? What do people call you? Thanks for jumping on. Where are you coming in from? Good morning, Pedro. Good morning. Oh, it starts with an M. I can't see it. Some of these are moving pretty fast. But I'm on here. I've been doing this every day. Actually, it's a month. I started doing these a month ago. I'm on live every day. Good morning, Pedro. I'm live here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I had somebody last week that wanted me to do a training on social media marketing, which I did. You're from Cebu City of the Philippines. Is that Coco King? Good morning, Crystal. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I live about 40 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the Northeast. I got into this industry after I lost my job. And I've been doing this actually, it'll be 14 years in September. I haven't worked a full-time job in 9 years. I had a 2 to 3 hour commute, which I don't miss, and that was highway driving. And I was at that one point starting to fall asleep while I was driving. And truthfully, a commute like that, and then working 8 hours a day, it's exhausting. And I know there was one day we were getting a little bit of snow here. I left at 4 o'clock. I did not get home till after 7 o'clock. And that does do that for you, that by the time you get home, you're so exhausted, you don't feel like doing anything else. I don't miss that. Now my commute's literally me walking up a flight of stairs to my upstairs in my house where I'm at now. I turned a room in my house um, into an office. So that's my commute now. There's nothing better, and I have time freedom. If I need to do something, I don't have to ask anybody. And if you're working a job, you're going to have to ask people, you're going to have to ask if you want time off or you want a vacation or you got something going on. You got to, go to your boss and ask. And the job I had that I lost, in fact, we had to fill a form out if you wanted a day off or vacation, which kind of makes you feel like you're in school, and you certainly don't have any freedom, because if you need time to do something, you have to go ask. And I don't have to ask, and it's wonderful. Actually, I can do what I want when I want. In fact, when I'm done here now, I have like one or two other things to do. I'll be done like in an hour or less. You can get this down. I'm done for the day. You can get this down to less than 2 hours a day. In the beginning, you may not, because you're new and you're learning stuff. And then as you learn them and you get better, you can get this down to 2 hours a day. We've got we've got about 55,000 people now in our group. And I'm not the only one doing this. We're using a 2 hour blueprint that we show you step by step what to do, how to use social media correctly, how to do email marketing. Because if you're using social media and you're not sending people to something where you can get their email address, and it's preferable if you have something you can give away for free. It doesn't matter what you're doing in exchange for them giving your email address. I have a free PDF that about the blueprint that we're all using. If you go to payudaily.com, or if you're on my TikTok account, go up to my profile and click the link there. So you'll get an email from me with a free PDF that outlines the blueprint. You can save it to your computer. It's yours to keep. But it's preferable, whatever you're doing, you have a PDF, an ebook, a free webinar training, a free video training, that you're giving something away for free that's congruent with what you're doing. So and you can make your own. If you're promoting somebody else's thing, you could ask them if they have something you could give away. You can make your own. It's not that hard. You could use Canva. And if you are saying weight loss, say you have a PDF with 5 ways to lose weight without starving yourself. You could make a PDF in Canva. If you don't want to make one, you can go to a site called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. They do the $5 to $10 gigs. You can ask somebody to make you a PDF or an ebook or something that you can give away, because it's preferable that you're giving people something for free in exchange for the email, because you want to build your email list. If you're using social media, you want to do that. There's over 5 million people, but you don't own your social media accounts. I've had 10 TikTok accounts, one that I had over 200,000 people. I had 3 Instagram accounts. Somebody hacked mine, deleted it. I had 2 other accounts. Instagram came back and suspended them, and they didn't rule in my favor. And so both this TikTok account, my Instagram account, I started posting. I stayed off TikTok for a year, started posting last June. I do 3 videos a day. And now my Instagram account is almost at 100,000 followers. And the TikTok account that you're on, that's almost at $100,000, because I mastered some skills. You can lose your social media account, but any skills you master, nobody can ever take that away from you. I mean, I know what to do now, how to build another account up, and how to get followers. I know how to get views. I've got one video I posted a little over a week ago on TikTok that's got 1.6 million views, and it's got over, I think, 25,000 comments. Now, I know what to do. I know how to get followers. I know how to get leads. I know how to convert those leads into sales. And if you're not sending people to a proven system, because when I got started in this industry, I didn't know anybody. I literally went to Google. I searched make money online. I bought a website, and they sent me a 3-page PDF showing me how to set up pay-per-click ads. I had no idea what I was doing. I was setting up ads. I spent $3,000. I was sending traffic to a replicated website, which you never want to do. And I did that for a year. Nothing converted. I knew I didn't have a mentor. I knew I needed to get around somebody that had done what I wanted to do to learn from them. Success leaves clues, and you want to follow what's already proven to work. So, and if you're using social media, here's a tip: no matter what you're doing, you want to find like at least 10 people in your niche on that platform for you to follow. And if they have some sort of following, I say if they have at least 25,000 followers or more, they probably know what they're doing. You don't want to follow somebody that doesn't really have any following, because they may be new, they may be trying to figure it out, and follow them because you can learn from them. And anybody I'm following on any social media platform, I'm following them for a reason. So you want Coco King saying, I want to learn because I'm not a tech person. Okay, if you want to learn more, you can go to payudaily.com. You're on my TikTok account. You can go up to my profile, click the link in the profile. My website's there. You opt in, you give your email address. I encourage you to, there's 2 videos to watch. Look at the page. You will get an email from me with the free PDF. You can open that, download. There's a link there. You can download the PDF, save it on your computer. That's yours to keep. That is an outline of the blueprint we're using. Take a look at all that. And if you've got any questions, you can respond back to my email. I do check my email every day. You can take a look at that and make a decision. But we all are following a proven blueprint. We've got 55,000 people in our group. Many people, many of us are making money. If you're coachable, you're consistent, you plug in, you implement what you learn, you can do this. And the consistency is really important. When I say every day, I mean 7 days a week. You can get this down to 2 hours a day. In the beginning, till you learn things, it might take you longer, but as you learn and you keep doing them, you get faster. You get faster and better. Good morning, James. Good morning, Christy. Thank you for the badge. Thank you, Pedro. I appreciate that. If you like my video, I'd really appreciate it, whether you're on my TikTok account or you're on YouTube. I appreciate anybody doing that. But that's, and you just go to that website, payudaily.com. And thank you for the heart, Pedro. I appreciate it. Oh, okay. It was a finger heart. I haven't heard of that. Thank you, Pedro. Learning something new every day. I always learn something new doing this. But the woman was on here. I can't see if she's still on here or not. If she wanted more info, go to payudaily.com, or go to if you're on my TikTok account, go to my profile and click the link there. It'll take you to my website. If you're using social media, you want to send people to a website or a capture page where you can get their email address, get them on your email list. You want to be building an email list. That's an asset. Nobody can take that away from you. You can lose your social media accounts at any time. I've lost 10 accounts on TikTok. I had one, I had over 200,000 followers. I lost 3 Instagram accounts. Somebody hacked my account, deleted it. I had 2 other accounts that Instagram suspended, and then they did not rule in my favor. I had a Facebook group. I had over 60,000 people in it. Facebook deleted it because you don't own your social media accounts. You don't control them. And if you're only sending people to a page or a website or a sales page or a replicated website, the problem is you only have one chance to talk to them. If you're selling something, most people don't buy on first touch. I do get sales on first touch, but that's not the majority of them. Most people have to see something multiple times before they make a decision. And in fact, I had somebody who she got on my email list in October of 2024. I did talk to her a few times on TikTok, and she just bought something from me this past July. That's 10 months on my email list. If you're not using social media to generate free leads, get people on your email list and building that you can keep communicating with them. It makes it really hard to make any money. And in the beginning, I didn't know anyone, and that's what I was doing. I was sending people to a replicated website, which that doesn't convert. You don't know what you don't know. You don't want to just send people to a sales page. And yeah, you might get a sale or two, but you're missing out on the chance to keep communicating with that person and building an email list. You use a tool called an autoresponder. Good morning, Jane. Good morning. Oh, I can't see your name. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. It gives you the opportunity, and there is software called an autoresponder that you need, that you set a website up and you attach a bunch of emails that go out automatically on your behalf. And that's where you can have this running I call it a freedom machine, running 24 and 7 for you. Um, whether you're sleeping, whether you're doing something else. And that's how I've been able to wake up to making money. Or I've been doing something else and make money, because that's running constantly for you. And you can do this. You can work 2 hours a day, and get your income and producing activities in that time. And then you have the rest of the time for yourself. And there was a guy on here a day or two ago. His name was Hank. He was telling me he's working 2 jobs. And I did work 2 jobs at one point. I had a full-time, a part-time job, and I was in school. It was exhausting. And I was a lot younger. I was like 38 at the time. And I was exhausted. I mean, I could literally probably fallen asleep standing up. I was so exhausted. So if you're working, and I know there's people out there working more than one job because they're not making enough money to make ends meet. And it seems like food, every time I go to the grocery store, I can buy the exact same thing, that it cost me more than it did the time before that. And with all these tariffs and all that, but food is like skyrocketing. And now with these tariffs that started at the beginning of this month, they're probably going to go up more. Pedro, if you're interested, go to payudaily.com, or you're on my TikTok account, go up to my profile. There's a link there, Pay You Daily. If you click that, that'll take you to my website too. There's 2 videos. I would encourage you to watch them, read the page. You will get an email from me that's got it's a free PDF. If you click on the link, you can download it and save it to your computer. That's yours to keep. That's the 2-hour blueprint we're all following, and it gives you an outline of that. But you can get more information now. If you have any questions, you can respond to my email. I do check my email every day. I do answer anybody that contacts me. So that's where payudaily.com. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Heidi. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I'm following a blueprint with a 2-hour workday that you can get this down to 2 hours. Good morning, me. I'm not pronouncing that correctly. I apologize. Good morning, Lo. Gonal. What do people call you? I know people they're creating handles, and they're using something else. They're not using their name. I use my name because what I'm doing, you always want to brand yourself. You're from yeah. If you want to learn more, go to payudaily.com. Or you're on my TikTok account, go to my profile. There's a link, payudaily.com. Click that. That'll take you to my website. Put your email address in. There's 2 videos that I'd encourage you to watch. Read the page. You'll get an email from me with a link in it that has the free PDF. You can download the link and save it to your computer. That PDF is yours to keep. If you want to start with that, go ahead. If you have questions, you can respond back to my email. Good morning, Stereophonic or DJ. Good morning. Thanks for jumping on. If you're new to I've been doing these now for a month. I'm here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern. I had a couple of people ask me to do a training. I did one on social media marketing. If you're trying to use social media, and nobody, when I say, why are you on social media? Like nobody comments. You got to be on social media for some reason. I did have a guy that jumped on at one point and said to me, he was just bored and he wanted to get on. He got on TikTok, and that's fine. I'm not here because I'm bored, or I'm looking for something to do. I've been doing this actually be 14 years in September. If you're looking for a way you can make money from home, if you want to learn how to supplement your income, you can do that. And if you have a full-time job, you can still work around it, or if you have kids or whatever, because you can get this down to 2 hours a day. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Marcelo. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I live outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, about 40 minutes outside the city in the Northeast. I'm close to New York. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning, Melissa. I've been doing this actually, it'll be 14 years next month. I lost my job. I couldn't find another one. I was broke, unemployed, and in foreclosure. I found myself drowning in $250,000 of debt. I was being sued. My brother passed away, and I found this industry. And if I didn't, I'd probably be homeless if I didn't find this. When I lost my job, people were getting 150 or 1,500 resumes actually for one job. And if your application even made it out of the pack, I mean, I got a total of 3 interviews over a year. I could not find another job. I knew somehow people were making money online. I literally went to Google. I didn't know anyone. I searched make money online. I bought a website. The website was showing me how to set up pay-per-click ads, which I did. And I spent $3,000 in pay-per-click ads. I was sending traffic to a replicated website, which you never want to do. You don't know what you don't know. And as a result, after a year, I didn't make any money. I did not have a mentor. I knew I needed to get around somebody who had done what I wanted to do to learn from them. Because if you're trying to do this yourself, and you can take my free PDF, go to payyourdaily.com, and you can, try to do it yourself and see how it goes. But you're probably going to waste a lot of time. And I wasted a year and $3,000 and did not get any return for that. And setting up pay-per-click like ads like that is a skill you have to master. And it's really about you mastering some skills. It's mindset and skill set, and you have to master both. Because not this business is 95% mindset. Most of us, when we got into this, we have a broke mindset. Most people I talk to have a broke mindset. And you have to, if you're saying you're broke, you don't have the money, you can't afford it, you want to stop saying that, because what you plant in your mind is what you get, and you'll just get more of that. And you can go to YouTube, search The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, and start listening to that. A friend of mine shared that with me. God, it was over 7 years ago. The first time I listened to that, it's a YouTube video. You can pull it up on your phone. You can do it while you're fixing dinner, doing laundry, driving. I thought it was so profound. But if you keep saying that you're broke, you don't have the money, you can't afford it, you are going to keep getting more of that, because that's what you're planning in your mind. And what you plant in your mind is what you get. And learn to change your words. I've learned, and a mentor of mine taught me this. I'm giving you out some gold here, to change my words and not say I can't afford it, I'm broke. Say, how can I come up with? And if I needed $500 and I can't tell you how much, how many times I've used that to come up with money when I needed it. Good morning, Jalinda. Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate it. Thank you for the gift badge. Good morning, Shannon. How many times I've used that when I've needed money, and stop saying that. Stop saying you're broke. Stop saying you can't afford it. Learn to change your words. And if you need $500, say, how can I come up with $500? And learn to train your mind. Because if you don't train your mind, if you don't master your mind, it will master you. And if you listen to The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, it's on YouTube. The video is about 30 minutes. I did that for like over a year. You can just pull it up on your phone. You can listen to it while you're driving, while you're cooking, while you're doing laundry, whatever, and start feeding your mind with good stuff. Because what you plant in your mind is what you get. Excuse me. And if you keep telling yourself you're broke, you don't have the money, you can't afford it, you're just going to get more of that. And this business is 95% mindset. And yes, you have to learn marketing skills. If you have, it's a business, if you got any kind of business, you have to learn marketing. But you also have to master your mind, because a lot of people, their mindsets are so broke that will get in the way of them even trying anything. And I was in a situation where I couldn't find a job. And yeah, you are going to have to be willing to take risks. You're going to have to be willing to do things that make you uncomfortable. I've grown the most when I've done something that made me uncomfortable. In fact, yesterday I got a message from a guy who was either on this live or he saw one of my videos, and he said to me, I was wondering, he said, I saw your video. I was wondering if you do a personalized video for me, and tell me about yourself and explain the business, so I feel more comfortable moving forward. And I didn't even answer him, because that's his mindset, and he needs somebody to do something so he can believe this and that I'm real. And this is somebody that was messaging me from an account on TikTok that he didn't even have his own name or picture on it. And he's asking me to give him a personalized video or a voice recording explaining about me and the business. I mean, you're emailing me, you're messaging me, and you don't even have your own name and picture on your TikTok account. And I do suggest, if you're using social media, you want to put your real name and you want to put a good picture of yourself. You can take one with your phone, or you can have somebody, take a bunch and pick the best one. But there are how many people that get on this, they don't have a picture of themselves, they don't have their name. And for somebody to message me like that, and he wants me, I mean, that's not how this goes. I have a website I send people to. That's what I teach people, because the website, the video, the page, that explains everything, and it should answer everyone's questions. If they have more questions, people get on my email list. They can respond to my email, and then I can answer their question. But for me to do a personalized video for him, and if he's that, I mean, because getting, there's no growth in your comfort zone. Every time I've done something that was scary, that, and there's no guarantees with this. I had a guy on yesterday that he wanted to know how long it would take him to make $100,000 in a year, and I can't answer that question. I've had people ask me how long it will take me to make my money back. I can't answer that because I don't know you. I don't know your work ethic. I don't know the time and effort you're going to put into this. I don't know what kind of learner you are. Do you learn fast? Can you follow instructions? Because most people can't follow instructions, and these are simple instructions, that you'll actually show up, go through the training, plug into our community. We have live trainings every week, where my mentor gets on, and it's an interactive training where she breaks everybody out into small groups. So it's not like you buy a course, you're just watching videos through the whole course. This is an interactive program with mentoring. There's other mentoring calls throughout the week. There's calls for new people. There are tech calls if you need help. If you're trying to put your website together, your funnel, and you need help, we also have a done for you service. If you don't want to do it at all, that's what I did. You can pay, I think it's $150. They'll set up your whole funnel. And it's a one-time $39. They will build you your website. I mean, if you want to build your own website, you can do that. But if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have the right kind of software to do that, that's probably going to take you, how long? To try to figure that out. It's a lot easier to have them pay, set up your website. If you want to set up your own funnel, you can do that. I mean, I've built tons of funnels. Thank you, Jolinda, for the number 3 gift badger. I appreciate it. Good morning, Lori. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Mark. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. So, the people you see making money, it's because they're coachable, they're consistent. They went through the training and executed it. They did the work, and the consistency is really big. If you don't show up every single day, and when I say every day, 7 days a week, if you're not doing that and you're trying to build an audience on social media, you're never going to get anyone to follow you. People want to know that you're going to show up every single day. And what they'll do is, if they see that you don't show up, and if you don't have any kind of following, they'll just go find somebody else who does show up. I mean, it's like somebody who has an offline business. They put in their window, that their store hours are, like, say 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. And somebody comes to you decide, like, on a Wednesday, you just don't feel like opening the store, so you don't. And you have somebody who comes on a Wednesday at 2:00, and that's when you said you would be there, and they come and your store is closed. They'll just go find somebody else, because anything you're doing, it's not just like there's one person doing it. There's other people they can go to. So if you're not showing up every day on social media, and this is a 7-day-a-week thing. I see people, they'll post videos Monday through Friday. This is not a 9 to 5 job where you get nights, weekends, and holidays off. If you're really serious about that, you have to show up every day. I've been here now. I've been doing these lives, every day for a month. Today, in fact, it's a month. Coming on live, I'm here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I'm just giving out free value. If anybody has something you're trying to figure out, I'd be glad to do a training if it's something I've done, because I don't think you can teach and train on something you haven't done. I don't think that's ethical. So I'd let you know if I did it or not, if it's something I've used to make money. But I can probably give you a resource if I don't know it. In fact, I had somebody on YouTube, I guess it was last week. He wanted to learn CPA marketing and asked me to do a video. And I just said, I know what CPA marketing is. I have an idea of how it works. I've never done it or made money with it. I really don't think it's ethical for me to teach and train something, but I gave him some resources. There's courses out there he could buy and go through the course and learn from somebody that's already done what you wanted to do, because success leaves clues. And he could get a course from somebody, learn it, and actually implement it. And he'll probably get a better result, because if you go through a training, if you buy a course or you join a program, and you go through and implement what you learn. Like I wanted to learn AI, and I'm all in on AI. If you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, the last 2 months, that's all I've been doing is posting videos. Making them with AI. I got a course in June, and I'm still going through the course because the instructor keeps adding stuff. But I've taken what I've learned and I'm creating the videos I'm creating. I'm using AI. For all of you people that don't want to get on camera, AI is another option. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Travel Dreamer. Good morning, T Mac. Good morning, user 56979. What do people call you? And implementing what I learned, because AI is not going away. And even if you go to Google now and you search something, those first results that you're going to see, um, it's that Google's answering you using AI. If you go below that, the search results are the same as they usually are, but they're using AI. I'm seeing it everywhere. It's not that AI is going to. Thank you, Pedro, for the front. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Um, it's not that AI is going to replace you. It's that the person that learns how to use AI will replace you. And if you don't do it, congrats. Thanks, Pedro. TikTok's telling me congrats. Pedro Rivera lit up a friendship necklace in my gift gallery. Thank you so much. And that's one thing about TikTok. People can do gifts and stuff like that, but you can't do that on YouTube. I think you have to set up your YouTube channel a certain way. And I love YouTube too. I've been on YouTube since 2013. I didn't get on TikTok till 2020. I did get an account up to 200,000 followers. I've lost 10 accounts on TikTok. Um, and this is a new account that I'm on now. I lost 3 Instagram accounts. Somebody hacked my account, deleted it. And then the other 2 accounts, Instagram came back and suspended me, and they did not rule in my favor. So both of these accounts, this TikTok account and my Instagram account, I started posting 3 videos a day on each of them last June. And now each of them, I'm almost at 100,000 followers. Because I've acquired a skill, I know what to do. And no, I wouldn't want to lose my accounts again because you have to start from zero. But while you're using social media, you want to build an email list, because anybody, not just me, and there's plenty of people that have lost their TikTok accounts or their Instagram, and now YouTube's going through a thing. I've gotten 30 emails, more than 30 emails with strikes. I know some people have already lost their YouTube channel. And one guy, I've been following him for a long time. He made his first million on YouTube. He had over 1,000 videos. He unlisted most of them. And I had to go through, I have over 3,000 videos in TikTok. I had to unlist. I'm trying to keep YouTube from striking me, unlist a bunch of mine, at least a couple hundred. So they couldn't. Thank you, Pedro, for the friendship necklace. I really appreciate it. Good morning, Barbie. I went through and spent at least a couple hours going through videos on my YouTube channel that I thought that YouTube would have a problem with, and unlisting them because they've been on a tear rate lately. And I've appealed all of them, and I've had at least 30. Only one of them, they ruled in my favor. You can appeal them, but they may not always rule in your favor. And that's and actually, I'm really getting turned off from YouTube that they're doing that. And I do know people that lost their channels. And the fact that the guy that I've been following for so long, I mean, he has, I think, over 300,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, did that. I can certainly understand why he'd want to protect his account, because, I mean, it got him to be a millionaire, and he had a full-time job when he started, and he's been able to quit that job. Him and his wife have built their dream house. So I can totally understand he wants to protect it. I would too. And that's what I was doing. I was spending a good amount of time going through the videos on my YouTube channel, and I unlisted anything I thought that YouTube would have a problem with. But this industry can change your life like it has mine and so many other people. And I do believe if I hadn't found this and digital marketing, I'd probably be homeless. I was in foreclosure. And I had the sheriff. I make jokes about it now. I've had the sheriff at my door multiple times. It's not fun. And I was so broke at one point. I was cutting mold out of food, hoping I wouldn't get sick. I pissed everybody off. Thanks for the goat, Pedro. Really appreciate it. Hoping I wouldn't get sick. And my pain has always pushed me. Dr. Michael Beckwith said, pain will push you until your vision pulls you. And that's been 100% true for me. And I was in that situation. I'm not now. And now I'm dealing with 2 cancer diagnoses. So I don't want to burden anyone. I want to stay in my house. And that costs a lot of money. I don't know. I'm fine right now. But what I have, I mean, there's not an MD in the world that can tell me nothing's going to happen. And I'm grateful I have this business because I don't think I could. I mean, when I still working a job, I was getting up at 4:30 a.m. I was in the car on the highway by 6 a.m. to try to get up to, to my job by 7. If it was a little bit later, it's going to take you a lot longer. The traffic is just like, you're driving on highway driving, and there's a lot. If you've ever driven on Interstate I-95 in the Northeast, there's a lot of traffic on that highway every single day. Sitting in that kind of traffic, and before I lost my job, I was actually starting to fall asleep driving home, which is dangerous, and I was having to do things to try to keep myself awake. Thank you for the heart puff. I don't think I've ever got one of those, Pedro. Thank you. To like do things to try to stay awake, and I'd stop at, we have Wawas all around where we live, get some caffeine, a Diet Coke or something, and drink that to help stay awake driving home. And there's people that have fallen asleep driving and caused an accident, so I don't miss that at all. And now my commute is literally walking up a flight of stairs. I turned a room upstairs in my house into an office, and that's my commute now. And and you can get this down to 2 hours a day. If you're just starting out, that may take you longer, until you learn what you're doing, you get better at it, you get faster. And I know when I bought an AI course in June, going through the course, learning, and there's like 6 different softwares in that course you can use, learning the different softwares, learning how to create these videos, because they show you 2 kinds of videos. That took me a little longer till I learned. And if you learn quickly, I can learn pretty fast, and I know how to follow instructions. If you can learn things, take directions, and follow them, you can do it too. And implement what you're learning and plug into our community, you can do it too. Because this business is simple, but it's not easy. And simple and easy aren't the same thing. Good morning, Legacy 6317. Good morning, Debbie Turry. Good morning, Between the Line. What do people call you? If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I've been doing these live streams now. I'm not live streaming, just not my TikTok account, but I am on my YouTube channel. I have software that allows me to do that. It's just one live stream. And then the cool thing about YouTube, it actually saves the recording for me and uploads it to my channel as a piece of content. You're and you're at work, Pedro. What do? You have to work on a Saturday? Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of people that come into this industry. And we had somebody in our community, she was working 3 jobs. She's a single mom. She never had time for anything, or kids, or anything else to do. She joined the program I'm in, and she pretty quickly made, and I don't know her background, if she's brand new to the online thing or she had been doing some other things. She got to 100,000. She made her first $100,000 online, and she's been doing this now. She quit all 3 jobs, which for her it's been completely life changing. Delivery for Home Depot. Okay, I use Home Depot to buy stuff. Actually, I was looking at, I want to have some new floors put in my house. I was looking at the different, there's so many different kinds of floor, but I use Home Depot. So if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Good morning, Tia. There's somebody, I think it's Legacy something, and that can't be what people call you. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. And I've been here every day doing these at 10 a.m. In fact, today it's a month I started doing these. Good morning, Linda. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I will be here again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thank you, Linda, for the Ohio. Okay, what part of Ohio? Good morning, Lady Love. My Phillies were just in Cincinnati and didn't do so well. and they were trying to recruit my all time one of my all time favorite baseball players, Kyle Schwarber. He grew up in Ohio, and he's a free agent at the end of the season. Yeah, I'm in the Northeast too. I live in outside, about 40 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I'm close. I'm not that far from New York. I'm not that far from Ohio either. Um, Ohio's not, I mean, it wouldn't be that, maybe a 1 or 2 hour flight flying. Good morning, Rico. Good morning, Windizzy41. What do people call you? That can't be what people call you. But I'm doing these every day. I've been doing these every day. It's a month today. I'm on here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern. I will be back again tomorrow. If anybody has a question, or if you have something you're trying to figure out, I'd be glad to do a training. I did have somebody ask me to do a training on social media marketing, which I did that last week. I was talking about email marketing, because if you're using social media and you're not sending people to something, a website, a capture page, a squeeze page, a landing page, where you can get the person's email address and get them on your email list. And you do need a tool called an autoresponder to capture people's information, get them on your email list, and you can keep communicating with them. Because I know when I started this, I didn't know anyone. I went to Google. I started to make money online. I bought a replicated website. Didn't have a mentor. They sent me a 3-page PDF showing me how to set up pay-per-click ads. I had no idea what I was doing. I spent $3,000 on pay-per-click ads. Nothing converted. And I knew after a year, I needed to find somebody who did what I wanted to do. You don't want to send people to a replicated website. You don't want to send people to a sales page. Yeah, you might get a sale on first touch, and I do get sales on first touch. That does happen, but most people are going to have to see something multiple times. And if you look at your own buying habits, how many times you may look at something before you make a decision to buy. And you could see something when you're in a store, you could see something online, see it online and then go to the store to look at it, or be in a store and then go online and look at it. And then you probably end up looking at something. I know I do the same thing at something at least a few times before I buy it. But I mean, yeah, you can get sales on first touch, but most people aren't going to do that. And if you're just sending people to a sales page or a replicated website, the issue is you have that one time to talk to them. And then if they go off your page, you're not going to be able to talk to them anymore. So you want to get them on your email list. Preferably, you want to give something away for free. Like I have a free PDF or an ebook or a webinar training or a video training that you're giving people something away for free in exchange for their email address. And if you're promoting somebody else's stuff, you could ask them if they have something you can give away for free, or you can make your own. It's not that hard to make I have a PDF. It's not that hard to make a PDF. You could use Canva, or if you don't feel like you could do one on your own, you can go to a site called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. They have $5 to $10 gigs. You could pay somebody to set something up for you. I mean, really, it's not that hard. They can make it look professional for you. And you give them the information, what it's about. And if it's weight loss, you could give them like 5 tips about how to lose weight without starving yourself, giving out some sort of tip or something. It's got to be congruent with what you're doing. So if you're doing weight loss, you could do that. If you're doing gardening, you want to give them tips about that. But it's preferable that you're giving people something away for free in exchange for their email. And if you're using social media, you have the ability to reach over 5 billion people, and you can do it for free. In fact, my mentor's made $7 million now. Okay, now TikTok, like it normally does, it's telling me it's going to end this in like 5 minutes. And it's because I've been on here for so long, and they are timing me. And I'm going to see if I can come back, but it's not. Okay. Yeah, I've got like 5 minutes till they end this, because I'm almost on an hour. They tend to do that. But if you're doing that, you're using social media and you're not sending people to some place where you can get their email address, you're missing out on to be able to continue to communicate with them. And I know I had somebody, she got on my email list in October of 2024. I did talk to her a few times on TikTok, and in July she bought something from me. So most people are going to have to see something multiple times. Not that you can get sales on first touch, but most people aren't going to do that. So if you're not sending people to a website, a capture page, a landing page, a squeeze page, getting their email address, getting them on your email, and you do need an autoresponder. Most of them you can start for free. The one I use, they give you up to 2,000 subscribers for free, but you want to build an email list. It's an asset. It's the only thing online you really own. And eventually, after you get, the software I use, it's 2,000. A lot of them are 500. When you get to that threshold, yeah, you're going to have to start paying for it. But it gives you the ability to keep talking to people over and over again. So TikTok is warning me. If nobody else has a question, you can drop a comment. If you're on YouTube or TikTok. If not, I'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And I'm just going to end this now because I'm at an hour. We'll be here again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Thanks everybody for coming on. I'll see you tomorrow.